How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to another episode of Talk with Howie. I love coming up here to the nation's capital, looking at the monuments, especially the Lincoln Memorial. This place really got a lot of meaning and heart to everybody. It should. You know, the guy behind us would have never put up with what's happening today, with what's happening in America today. Our forefathers, people that really set the foundation of this country, would be rolling over in the graves. Probably are. Right? They're haunting this place, Washington, D.C. You know, I grew up in a small town, Bristol, Tennessee, and, you know, D.C.'s always been a big tourist attraction to me, and I've lived up here for probably 12 years now, and it still wonders to me. I could come up and look at the Lincoln Memorial every day, all day. This place just never ceases to amaze me. But we forget what it was built on and what what he's setting up there for, you know? For us to have what is liberty, justice, the right to live the way we want to, you know, to pursue the American dream. And we all started to lose that feeling in this country when we started losing God in the house, you know? God he's everything to me, you know? I'm a sinner. I've robbed, stolen, done drugs. I'm not you know, I've got a background like everybody else, most people. But the good thing about God is He took that away from me and gave me a purpose. And the purpose of my life is to spread joy and happiness and spread the light I got inside me that'll help wake people up to the madness that is surrounding us in the world today. I mean, it really is. We've all been tricked for years and years. Like I told you, about a year or so ago, maybe 10, 11 months, I really woke up to a totally different reality than what it ever was before. I'm 51 years old. The first 50 years of my life have been a scam, have been a lie. I know now that I have powers. We all do. We're all created equal in the same way, the same image as God. All in all, we are. We all got a different purpose here on earth. That's why He makes us different. You know, there's no different than anybody else here except for our purpose on earth. What I'm meant here to do, what you're meant here to do. God gave us all a singular purpose. Whether you want to call Him God, source, power of the universe, we all got a different name for what it is. But in reality, it is He made us all the same. We're all just like Him in His image. We're made to be special, not to be robots, not to be trapped, not to be coerced or brainwashed into doing what basically the elite wants to do, so they can have everything and we can be squashed to nothing when it's not supposed to be that way. And it's my purpose on earth here is to wake the world up. Talk with Howie's going to go on the road. I'm going to start going around each country trying to touch and talk to as many people as I can and get the word of God out and let everybody know what He wants. And He wants us all to wake up and do what we're supposed to do. Find meaning in life, your purpose in life that's supposed to make this world a better place, not a worse place. We all have powers that you can manifest what you want. If you got faith in God and you've got a good righteous philosophy, you can have anything in the world, okay? If you want more, you have to be more. Plain and simple. Your knowledge and what you learn is as far as your reach is going to reach out to the world. If you want to make more money, learn more. Never stop reading, never stop learning, and it will grow to you. There's so many catchphrases and phrases we all grew up with. I'll put a couple of examples. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. We always grew up thinking that was a nursery rhyme to make you go to sleep. I never knew what it meant. It actually meant don't let the bed bugs bite. Back in the days when they didn't, whatever, there was bed bugs all over people's beds, and that's what it was. Here's another one, the Black Plague. Ring around the roses, pocket full of posies. They made that up to ward off the Black Plague, to keep people from getting sick. You know, the whole world was infected with the plague, and they had to come up with spells, magic to ward it off. That was one of them. There's several of them. You know, we as kids, we talk about setting our goals. Okay, yeah, we thought about our goals. You set them in your mind, but if you will write it down and read it, believe it, your goals will come true. Set your goals. There's a way to do it. Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor. About 8-9 months ago, their seminars started popping up on my Facebook pages, TikTok. And I never looked at this stuff. I never knew nothing about it. But when I started coming awake, that's who woke me up. Bob Proctor and Jim Rohn. And I'm going to tell you something. Jim Rohn has got the most wonderful philosophy about life. Okay, no complaints. How can you complain How can you complain about your life if you're in control of your life? Okay, how can you do that? All right. Have complete faith in God, and He will give you everything that you want and need. It says it in the Bible. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and He will open. Okay, it's the same thing. You can read all of Jim's books. You read all of Bob's books. Okay, and it's the same principles done in their way. Okay, so I teach an apprenticeship program, and I tell all my guys, I want you to learn a little bit from me, learn a little more from the other instructors, and then you entwine it and make it your own. But it's the same philosophy in it, okay? It's just tweaked a little bit. So I listen to Jim Rohn, I listen to Bob Proctor, there was a couple others. I read a few books, and man, I'm gonna tell you what, it opened my eyes. For 50 years, I thought that the world was one way. But it's not. It's totally different than we ever knew. We are totally different than we ever knew. We can have so much more control over our lives and the way around us than we ever imagined. I mean, really. You still have to work hard. You have to put the right foot forward, take action for what you want, and God will give it to you. If you have faith and believe, it's already here. You know, it's your eyes. They're not receivers, they're projectors, okay? When you senses pull in stuff, I mean, they pull stuff in, the thought, I don't even know what it is yet. I'm still learning. But I know one thing. I'm meant to be here on this earth. I always thought I was here for something better than what I was doing, you know? But God works wonders in mysterious ways, in wonderful ways. His divine timing is what woke me up a year ago, and I probably procrastinated and wasted so much of His time by just not, being in disbelief. But now there's so much that He showed me in such a little time that it's so believable, it's so right. I mean, there's no way that you couldn't believe it. He'll put the signs right in front of your face every day, the wonders of the world. People can take a Big Bang Theory shit and shove it up their ass, and that don't make no sense in nothing to man in the moon. Okay, cut your hand, cut your finger. Now, don't cut your arm off, but cut your finger, cut your hand, just a little bit. What happens to it? It heals up. Now, how's it heal up? How's it heal up? Can the Big Bang Theory explain that? No. You can take it right there. It's all right here. Look, it's all right there. It's in your mind. They've proved it over and over plenty of times. They give 50 people that think they have the same disease. They give 20 of them sugar water, they give the other one the right stuff, or whatever medicine that they come up with that they think heals you. But it ain't worth this shit. Medicine to me is a false fraud. It's a money racket system. No better than a dirty mechanic that's working on your car. Perfect example. A friend of mine had battery issues, so they called a tow truck. And it being a girl, they did the things that mechanic and tow truck drivers do. Instead of giving her a boost and letting her go home, they towed her car, right? Now, come on, man. And then this is the kicker, because she called me and said that she was her car broke down again. I said, the battery again? And I come up and looked at it, and they changed the battery, but they left a loose nut, a loose battery cable post. And the car was just bound to stop again. And what was it going to get? Another tow, another charge. I mean, the world and people in it are out to get over anybody and everybody. I mean, that's what it's turned into. And it's all because we're forgetting about God. God is, look around you. look around now. He's brought me from. God is the reason why I'm where I'm at today. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. He gave me new life, gave me new meaning. He's put me on his wings, and he's brought me to where I am today. You know, when I felt forgiveness in my heart and felt joy and peace and happiness, my life took off. When he came into my heart, he took it off. He brought so much joy, he took all the pain away. I'm gonna tell you something, I was probably the world's worst overthinker. I could think myself into a million messes. And that's because I was doing it all right here. I thought my first wife was cheating on me. I put the suggestion in her head. I did it. You know, I didn't put it. I didn't do it, but I did. But I did. You know, you think about stuff in hindsight, and it's all about the thoughts that go through your head. You know, you can just think something or say something out loud about somebody, and you're putting a spell on them. Think about what that means when we say spell. Okay, that is putting. What ing? What's it do when you're running? It's put in present tense. Okay, so when you spell or you're spelling, and it's more than just writing it down, but when you really write a spell down, when you really write what you say down, it sticks. Okay, you could there's a million sayings that you could say that you need to, because we don't know, we didn't know for so long what we were capable of. In our minds, in our souls, in our hearts, you know. God made us to be a certain way, and then a bunch of evil people programmed us to be another way. I'll give you a couple of really good examples. Is J.D. Rockefeller. Okay, what is he famous for? Standard Oil, right? He was an oil tycoon. He was he made so much money. Oil was pitiful, and then he's world renowned for his philanthropy, for forgiving. Okay, I'm probably saying that wrong word real bad, but for his gifts, for giving everything away. You know, they have gave so much, but you got to look at some of the stuff they gave. Okay, the American Medical Association. Do you know that he patented and wrote all the books, or had somebody write all the books for the for our doctors? Okay, they got away from herbal medicines, natural medicines, to, you know, all our medicines are made of petroleum. Do you know how long it takes for a drop of oil to break down in water, let alone your body? And he's famous for taking and using every last drop of petroleum, every last bit of the oil. It didn't matter what it was. That's how we got kerosene, that's how we got gas, that's how we got everything. It's because he would not waste nothing at all. That's where we got our medicines at. The medicines we take today, you know, they give you medicine to keep you on medicine. Just like I said about a mechanic. You know, you go to the doctor. My dad never had bone cancer in his life. He had colitis. He fought that his whole life. And then one day they had to take his colon out. Okay, and then he'd always had a polyp here or there that they thought had cancer, this or that. But my dad was in the most perfect health that you could find. How y'all doing? And we took him to Vanderbilt Hospital to get a polyp removed, and lo and behold, 45 days later, he's got bone cancer up his spine. It's bullshit. The world is nothing like we thought it was going to be. But what we need to start doing now, is we need to wake up, and it starts here in America. Okay, you know, America's one of the world's worst. We used to be the most humanitarian country in the world, and we've gotten away from that, like I said before. We've gotten away from taking care of what needs to be taken care of. We give trillions of dollars to overseas, and that's what we have to do. We need to do as a world is help other countries, but we need to help America first. God, when he comes to get you to draw your purpose, he will not bring you broken. You will have to leave behind and heal yourself so you can take care of yourself, so you can be all one for him. Okay? True saying is, if you cannot help yourself, how can you help anybody else? Okay? If you take a real good look around America, tour America, okay? Since we've lost God in this country, we have forgotten about everybody. world. You know, you go to parts of Kentucky, go to Baltimore, Maryland, and I want you to walk around that place. Drive through Baltimore. Please just drive through Baltimore. And I want you to look at the homeless situations we got in this country. Okay? And it's ridiculous that we got it like that because God gave us the resources for everybody to have more than they need. For everybody to be rich. Okay, take it like this. There's 330 million Americans roughly. All right? Now, you take, instead of giving $1 trillion to any other place, and we need to take care of those places, but we need to take care of America too. Okay, it starts here and then we just spread it out. All right, but you take 330 million Americans, take $330 million, give every American that paid taxes last year $1 million. That's not going to close the gap from the fucking elite to the poor at all, not at all. But what it's going to do is it's going to put a major push of money into the economy. Okay, everybody's either going to pay off their house or buy a house. The housing market will be booming again. New cars will be everywhere. People will be buying clothes. Okay, it's not going to change the rich from the poor, but it's going to give some of the poorest people in the world a leg up and get them caught up for once, and where they can be comfortable for a little while, at least for a year or two, and then they'll be back the same way. I mean, biggest thing we need to start preaching and teaching in our schools is God and finances. Okay? Not to work and be a slave from 7 to 3:30 in school, and then once you graduate school, you go right and do the same thing, 7 to 3:30 in the workplace. Okay? Rockefeller said it best. He wanted a country of workers, not of entrepreneurs like him. The world changed when the Titanic went down. That, if you pay attention to history, when the Titanic went down, the world banking system took over, and it became one world bank, basically. The Federal Stock Exchange, the Federal Reserve is not an American bank. It's not. It's a world bank. All right? The World Bank said right here in the nation's capital, I've worked there. We really have to get back to being individuals as a whole. Fuck the racism, fuck the prejudice, okay? We're all a mixture of the same. I'm German, Irish, and Indian with a lot of Egyptian. Okay, I mean, we're all humans. Okay, God made us different skin pigmentations for geographic reasons, not for any other reason. That's it. Look at Eskimos. Their eyes are made because they didn't have Oakley ski glasses to wear in the snow back then. They could only see like that, and it was a natural thing. Okay, your skin color is made for so you don't burn up. You know, think about that. Sometimes we got to graduate from the first grade sooner or later. A lot of the stuff that we bicker and argue over are common sense issues that are bullshit that have been programmed into us. Plain and simple. Plain, there's nothing different about anybody on this earth. Nothing. We're all humans. We're all made in God's image. We're all just like God, the source, the universe. We're all His children. We got to wake up and realize that. And I will see you soon. I will be coming around so you can see this bright face and soak up my bright energy. All right. Thanks for another great talk with Howie. Have a